Hi everyone, it's Hristi Wilbur here with the third video on kit herring and the optical illusions. Today we're gonna work on some cubes in perspective. So that's my little example that I made just to see how I can approach the project and have the best explanation that I can possibly do for you. So first, before we start the project, I want to explain something to you on this little piece of paper. Just because the cubes that we're going to be working with are under the horizon, and I just wanted to make this little sketch for you so you understand what I mean. So always when we draw or paint, no matter what it is, we always have to think, where is the horizon, which is exactly the eyesight, the line of your eyesight. Every single object that you're gonna ever paint or draw is gonna be on the horizon, above or under the horizon. So in this case, if we have a cube, so let's say that's the side of my cube, if it's on the horizon, we're gonna have these 2 points on the horizon that we're gonna connect with. So if your cube is on the horizon, that's what's gonna happen with it. It's right in the middle on the horizon, and I don't see the top or the bottom of it. I just see the very middle of the cube. If my cube, the same cube, is above the horizon, we're gonna connect to these very same lines. I know it's a little, perspective is a little abstract, but more you work with it, more you will understand. And if I have this very same cube, let's say, that's what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see the bottom of my cube, right here. Right here, I'm gonna see the bottom. If, like in our case with this project, let's do it a little further down. If my cube is under the horizon, and I put my temporary helping lines, that's how my cube is gonna be looking, and I am going to see the very top of the cube. That's what I'm gonna see. So the cube that we're gonna be working with today is under the horizon, and pretty much we're gonna be looking at the very top of it and the 2 sides. Okay, the cube that we're gonna repeat many times here in this project is gonna be kind of hollow. So we're gonna have this big, very big hollow areas that we're gonna be seeing through. So let's get started. Like with all my kit herring and optical illusions projects, my workspace is going to be 8 by 8, a square. I have this very helpful angle, so if you have something like that, it's going to be very easy for you to make your workspace. So I'm going to start with this 8 by 8 space, and that's the only thing I'm working with when I'm going to work with the ruler. Next, I'm going to start splitting. First, I'm going to split my square in half. So that's one very, very important line for me. And after that, I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to split in half here. Next, this space here, I'm going to split in 3 as good as I possibly can. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go with some dotted vertical lines here. I will go all the way down. And I know that this is the very center of my workspace. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose one very small area, maybe about 1 inch on both sides. And I'll make another dotted line on top and on the bottom. And you'll see why I need this little line. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna create the very top of the cubes. And here I'm gonna do the same. So we know our parameters. Parameters we're gonna work in. Okay, so from here I'm gonna split this whole space in. This space here I'm gonna split in two, and this space I'm gonna split in two. And I'm gonna start building my cubes. First, I'm gonna start by having another supporting line. And right here, I'm gonna connect these spaces, these lines. So that's how I'm gonna make the very top of my cubes. Okay, I'll do the same down here. So somewhere around here. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna need this because here the cube, that's the very bottom of the cubes. Okay, so let's start from here. So my cube is gonna be pretty much, that's gonna be the how tall the cube is going to be. Here I'm gonna have around here. So that's the bottom of my first row of cubes. Around here. Okay, so that's my first row of cubes. Next, here we're gonna have maybe it's gonna be a little further up from the center. That's the top of the second row of cubes. I need one more supporting line here. And that's my third row of cubes. I do the exact same thing. I have the supporting lines. And that's my third and last row of cubes. Now I'm gonna darken all the lines that I really need, and I'll erase everything that is not necessary at this point. These are lines we're not gonna need anymore. So let's start darkening up. We definitely need these lines. This one too. Going down. Like you can see, my cubes are not very far from perfect, but that's what I like to do. I like to work without rulers, so obviously I cannot compete with the ruler. If I measured everything precisely, my cubes would have been more perfect, but I love the practice. I don't like to work with rulers. Only when they're necessary, of course. In the beginning, to have my guidelines, it's important, but after that I prefer not to. And here is my third row. Okay, we erase and we start building. So inside here, we're gonna make these little openings. So imagine that these cubes have these very, very thick walls, and we can kind of see through them. So each one of the sides of the cube is going to have this kind of little windows that we're opening. And we continue the same way with all the cubes. Let's do just the top row, and I'll show you how to shade. Okay, so that's my first row of cubes. And I want to show you how we're going to shade them. So right here, we're going to split this in half. And this side is going to be pretty dark. Why? Because we decide that the light is going to come from the left, which means everything here is going to be dark. Here I'm going to split this space in half and this space in half. So this is the inside wall of the cube that gets pretty dark. So that's the second darkest area in the whole project. That's the areas that you have to make like a very dark gray. On this side, we're gonna do something like a light gray. We're gonna leave the very top of the cube pure white, and we're gonna do this area pure white inside of the cube. The darkest space that we're gonna have on each one of these cubes is going to be the right side. And I will need my little extra paper so I don't smudge all the graphite, which happens very often when we are drawing. We just contaminate some areas with some dark spots if we don't use some extra paper for help here. So we're gonna do this very, very dark so we have a really nice contrast in each one of the cubes. So this is the darkest area. Now I'm gonna darken up quite a bit this part here. It shouldn't be as dark as this. It should be slightly lighter, kind of dark gray. Now I can darken up a little bit this area too. And what I'm gonna do is this side is gonna be very, very lightly shaded. Very light shading here. And once you do this, you can see how the cube is already dimensional. Okay, And I'm gonna do one more cube for you, just to show you one more time how we shade the cubes. Let's do it on the second level, second row. Okay, I split this. That's pretty dark gray. I split this here and here. The dark gray continues down here. Here, lighter gray. And this triangle, and down here. Here we do the very dark. In this project, for now, I'm using only my regular pencil, which is HB. It's like number 2 pencil. But when I start going to my finishing touches, I will definitely use my my black colored pencil, especially in these areas that are really dark, just to make sure that the contrast is really striking here. And this line here is very important because it separates these two spaces and helps us have more dimensional cube. And we leave this and this pure white, and we do very, very light gray here. Okay, and it's gonna be really nice if you can darken up a little bit your lines here. Okay, so that's how you do all the cubes. And now I want to show you how I do my little kid herring figure. This time I decided he's gonna be some kind of a dark magenta color. So he's kind of waving to you a little bit with his hand. Again, you can make the kid herring person as big as you want to. He can be really huge or he can be really tiny. Depends how you want your design to look like. Last time I talked about kid herring, I said that he's from Philadelphia, but he's actually from Reading, Pennsylvania, which is very close to Philadelphia, but it's not in Philadelphia. So I just wanted to make this little correction. So I have my facts right. This is a really cool figure from the pop art movement. Very inspirational. Sadly, he died very young, like I told you last time we met. But he left real legacy as an artist. And if you're if you have kids or work with kids, there is this website, Kid Herring Kids. So you can go there and check all kinds of coloring pages and activities based on his art that are specifically catered for children. Okay, not the best coloring, but it's gonna work. After that, I take my Sharpie and I outline the person. And I cut it out. I'm planning on making 8 of these videos, and as soon as we finish 8 projects, same size, same concept, same theme, we're gonna put them together, and I'm really excited to see how they're gonna look like, all of them together as one big project, almost like a modular project, one big project made of small tiny ones. Okay, and I'm done with my kid herring person, and you can put for this one I really liked him to kind of run on top of this area of circles. So you can place your person whatever you want. He can be upside down, break dancing. He can be just sitting on the edge here, whatever you want to place him. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.